Now that we have our nav bar in place and everything seems to be working just fine, it's connecting to the database. Now let's deal with the WordPress widgets. Okay, because they are not responsive yet. Okay, everything still looks okay here, but when we get into this, that looks pretty hokey on the side. The titles are too big. Everything's text wrapping, simply because these things have to be responsive as well. Just see, yeah, see it connects. Okay, so let's now stylize the WordPress widgets. If you go to Dreamweaver, there is a style sheet called WP CSS. Let's open that guy. Now in WP CSS, we have the general colors. You'll see that the link the color is black. On the categories, visited, that widget title, you know, that the black portion. Here, I'll show you what the widget title is. That's this up here, the widget title. You can see that on our style sheet. Let me separate this a little bit so we can see what in the world we're doing. You can see that the background color is black. And we can change that. Let's go ahead and change that. Let's change it to red, just so you can see what's going on. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go back to FileZilla, and this time I'm going to move up the WordPress CSS. And then when we update our site, we should see that the widget titles are red. Okay, so that's how we can style that. Okay, now because the WP is the general colors, I'm going to move that back to black. These are the general sizes and the general colors of the widgets. So if you wanted to change colors and things like that, you would do it on the general so that they will be the general colors between the media screens. But we want to be able to change the font size and the padding and all that kind of stuff. So let's go back to the copy and paste text, and you'll see near the bottom there is WordPress widgets in each media screen. By copying and pasting this in each media screen, we can control those widgets according to the size of the device. So we'll copy this and go to the media CSS, and in each one of the media screens, so here's 960 to 3000, we'll paste that in. So now you can see, let me separate this a little bit, that inside 960 to 3000 we can control all the font sizes, we can control padding, and we can do all of that per size of the screen. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to paste it again in 768. Separate a little bit so I don't get confused. You probably won't be confused. And then we will put it in 478. This will allow us to change the style per media screen of those WordPress widgets, and we will also put it down in the phone. We know this is the phone because it's from 0 to 479. Okay, so now we can go back and let's start. Here's the tedium once again of being a webmaster. Let's go ahead and upload this media CSS and see what we have. Let's start with 960. Okay, why didn't these turn black? because remember, the general WordPress colors is in WP CSS. So let's move that back up right here, and that'll turn those back to black, because that actually totally by accident looks pretty darn good. Okay, so we can see immediately that they now can be changed. We already added the padding, and so we see that the calendar is way up too high. So let's see what we got going on here that makes it too high. Let's go to our media screen. At 960, we can see that the calendar has a margin top of -10. Why it's -10, I don't know. So let's just save that. Move the media up here. View the site. Refresh it, and the calendar goes down. Good. Okay, so we might want to move the calendar over a little bit. It's too far to the left. Let's go look at the media screen, and we can see that the calendar, let's see, calendar wrap, margin top, margin left is 0. So let's move it over, I don't know, 10 pixels. Save it, move it up, and take a look, see if the calendar moved over a little bit. It did. Okay, that's a little bit better. It kind of matches this down here. Okay, now that we like where our calendar is there, let's look at it at 768. Oh, we still have the -10, and we should move it over just a little bit. So let's go to our media, go down to 768, get rid of that margin top negative. I know I should probably fix this. And then let's move it over, I don't know, let's move it over 8 pixels. Ooh, not 80. Let's save it. Move up the media CSS. Check it out. Let's refresh. Okay, so that's looking pretty darn good. But now, at 480 for the iPad, it's way too big. So let's go back to our media, go down to 480. Make sure you're at the 480. Let's get rid of that -10. And maybe it shouldn't move left at all. But look, here's all the font sizes for the calendar. So let's just move these down to 8 points each. All the calendar. So all of a sudden, the font that makes up the calendar will be 8 point when it gets down to 480. So let's move this over at 480. Let's see if there's a big change. Yes. So now all of a sudden the calendar at 480 with the font point size 8 fits there quite nice. Okay. At 768 it grows back up to 12, and it stays 12 at the 960. So you can see that each media screen affects what's going on. Okay, then we get to the phone, and you can see the calendar goes back up to 12 pixels each, because that's the general size. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Okay, this looks pretty good at 960, and it looks okay. This starts getting a little bit goofy here, so we want to decrease the size of the font at 768. So let's go to 768, make sure we're in the right media screen, 768, and let's see, here's a link. Maybe we can change the font size to, I don't know, let's say 10. Okay, instead of 14, here's the blah blah blah, image archives. What do we change it to? 10. 10. Okay, let's see where else. Okay, logged in. We could probably we don't have to know where it is, but we could guess for the most part. Okay, let's leave the calendar. The calendar seems to be okay. Let's do a save. Move up to media. See how tedious this is, but that's why this is so pricey. Okay, so we decreased the size here, but it didn't do much with the pages. So let's see, calendar, da 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 da. Okay, header. Okay, line, header, links. And so basically, oh, widget title, well, that's in the black. Let's see, let's change it. Let's change it to 10 anyway. Okay, text widget, this is where this would be affected. Let's change that to 10 point. Move up the media after saving it. Check it out. Okay, that changed the title here. I don't know what's changing that. Okay. Now, when we get to 480, notice how I just skip past that. We can see that maybe these titles are too big. So let's go to 480 and change the widget title to 10. Widget archive, margin, widget, text widget, make this 10. Change all of these to 10. This right here should change those links right here. Just 12 points to 10. 480, everything else. Font size, let's change this to 10. And LI, oh here we go. Here, this is what changes it. The LI font size. So let's go up here and change the L. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, that should fix that. Let's save this. Move it up. And as you can see, it's basically from now on just going in each of the media screens. Okay, that did it. Okay, let's see. Yep, see that improved it tremendously. So it was that LI that changed the links there. And then when we get to this, it stacks and that looks okay. Okay, well there it is. For the most part, the rest is you as the webmaster making the changes here and the changes there. Let me just check one thing here. Let's see, left. Okay, that's that. Widget title, logged in. The archive UL is margin left. So in 768, we could probably move those ULs right here. The widget archive is -30. Let's see if we make it -50 at 768. Let's see if it moves those over. So in other words, what's going on? Okay, that just moved those over. Let's not do that. Let's not move it over that much. Let's just move it over here. And let's see these LIs. Okay, so this is where the UL menu. No, that's not where that is. Don't touch that. Widget title, widget, line height, font size. Okay, well, that'll be fine. Let's move it. Let's FTP it up. Let's see if that put them back to a decent place. Okay, so you can see that we are making it responsive piece by piece. Okay. Now there's one other thing I want to show you, and then we'll call it quits, because the rest is really up to you. You go in and you style it according to your tastes. Let's put what's called a default thumbnail. We're going to put it right above the calendar. Okay, what a default thumbnail is on every single page you could have an individual picture that represents that page. Let's go to the copy and paste, and let's find the default. Here it is, the default thumbnail code. Let's take that, copy it, go to our Mooseloose DWT, and let's find our right bar. Okay, so here's our section, and here is our right bar. Inside the nested, above the sidebar code, let's add a few spaces here, and let's paste that in. Okay, this is where the default thumbnail will go. And let's save that and update. Okay, index is updated. Let's move index up. Okay, here's index. Here's index. Let's move it up. Okay, now let's see if we have a default thumbnail. Okay, no we do not. So let's go to welcome, and here one is. And this is how we change it. If we go to if we log in, go back to and you can go back to the dashboard. Let me show you that again. When I created this template, I put this little plus mark back here. What that does is it'll take you to the dashboard to that page. So let's go back to that page, and you can see the default thumbnail is right here. I'm going to remove that for now. I'm going to remove the featured image. Okay, there's no featured image. Okay, so if I go to this page, I can see that there is no featured image. But let's put a featured image in there. Let's go here. Go down to the featured image. Okay, and we can either upload a new file or we can use one in the media library. Let's select that. You can put your alt tags in and say Moose Lost. And when we set that, set featured image, okay, and then we update, we will now see on that page the featured image. Okay, that also should be responsive. Okay, so that featured image is there, and we can put a featured image on any page now. For example, this one doesn't have a featured image. Let's go select one. Let's go down to featured image. Let's select something in the media library, or you can upload. I'm going to set this as the featured image on this page. I should put an alt tab, but I'm not. I update. Notice that the featured image is shown down here now. So when I update this and I go view the page, you can see that this page also has a featured image. And so that code, that featured image, can go anywhere. You can put that inside the text. You can put it anywhere you want. Okay, so that's setting the featured image.